Arsene Wenger, the father of the Invincibles, Arsenal's most successful manager and currently serving as FIFA's Chief of Global Development. But could he be making a return to Arsenal? Well, let's find out what Mikel Arteta has said today. Also, will Arsenal make a January offer for Renato Sanches? And which Arsenal player has secretly been impressing Mikel Arteta? As per, let's find out in the latest Arsenal news today. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. As per, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also while you guys are down there, please do consider subscribing to your boys channel. But getting into the after news and starting off with Arsene Wenger. He served at the club for 22 years, he won league titles, he won FA Cups and left Arsenal back in 2018. And even though unfortunately things towards the end got slightly a bit sour, factually Arsene Wenger is the greatest and most successful manager of all time. But since leaving Arsenal, he's never returned to management, and as of right now he works at FIFA. So in terms of his footballing career, surely it was meant to be an end of the era, or is that so? Because when speaking in a press conference today, Mikel Arteta, the current Arsenal manager, has said, "There's been a communication. I talked to him when we went to see the film and it was incredibly pleasant to see him and chat to him, and hopefully we can bring him close." So Mikel Arteta has confirmed that Arsenal have been in talks with Arsene Wenger, and in terms of himself as well, also speaking to Arsene. Even speaking at the movie premiere only a few weeks ago, Mikel Arteta once again confirmed he wants to bring Wenger back closer to the club. Arteta also says, "I think he would have a great time just seeing the environment he can create around him when he's around this place because of the respect, admiration and love that everybody at this club has for what he's done, and as well as what he represents as a person at this club." The admiration of Mikel Arteta towards Arsene Wenger is undeniable, and again, rightly so. Arsene is the guy that brought Arteta to Arsenal in the first place, and so if it wasn't for that, I doubt Arteta will be an Arsenal manager as of right now. This video has been kindly sponsored by the guys at OneFootball. OneFootball is the app when it comes to staying up to date with the beautiful game. Now, whether that be staying up to date with the latest transfer news, maybe staying up to date with the team's latest fixtures, or even things like lineups, goal alerts and live match updates. To put it simple, if you are a fan of football, you need OneFootball. Well, that sounds amazing, Babs, but how much does this app cost? Well, this is the beauty of OneFootball. You can access all their great features for the price of absolutely nothing. Yes, the app is available for free, and so make sure to hit the first link down below in the description and download the OneFootball app. Not only do you guys get access to a great app, but you're also helping your boys channel out massively, so for that, a gargantuan thank you from me to you. So Mikel Arteta has made it clear he wants Arsene to return to Arsenal, but in what role? Is it as a manager, as a coach, is it as a director of football? When asked on what Arsene Wenger's role would be if he was to return to Arsenal, Arteta has said, "I cannot tell you now, but what I can say is I would like him to be much closer personally to me, because I think it would be a great help, and it would be a great help for the club." In terms of Arsene Wenger, of course, one of the most experienced people in the world of football. After all, he did spend 22 years as an Arsenal manager. And when it comes to Arteta himself, of course, he is the most inexperienced and youngest manager currently in the Premier League. And so when you have the vast experience of Arsene Wenger just sitting there, I can kind of see why Arteta wants to bring Arsene back to the club, because ultimately Mikel Arteta can once again learn from Arsene Wenger. Now, in terms of any sort of managerial role as a coach, I personally doubt it. And also in terms of a technical director, contract negotiator, sporting director, Arsenal have those positions already filled up. But ultimately in terms of a club advisor or maybe even an ambassador, personally speaking, I would love to see Arsene back at Arsenal in any sort of role whatsoever. I just want to see him back at the Emirates Stadium because he's never returned there since leaving in 2018. This guy has been such an integral part of me as an Arsenal fan and also Arsenal in general. Personally speaking, in my own opinion, I can understand why Arteta wants to bring Arsene Wenger closer to Arsenal Football Club. And in terms of Arsene Wenger himself, he says, "Yes, of course I am still in love with Arsenal. I tackle, I shoot, I defend, I attack during every game, and of course, my life is red and white and will remain, especially as I don't manage anymore, so I don't have any other commitments." Arsene Wenger's love for Arsenal is simply undeniable. But as per, my friends, let me know your own thoughts on the situation down below in the comments, and what you make of Mikel Arteta trying to bring Arsene Wenger back to the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal's Director of Football Operations, Richard Garlick, has given an exclusive interview, and on the summer transfer window, he says, "The first team plan was executed very well. I'd say 90 to 95% of what we wanted to do got done. It was a difficult market, but we had a plan and we stuck to it." When it comes to Arsenal transfers, of course, us as fans love to talk about transfers, but in terms of the importance of Richard Garlick, it cannot be understated. He was brought into Arsenal as a contract negotiator, as the guy who runs the finances, and obviously in the summer Arsenal spent the most money. And Garlick also adds, since the window has shut, I've become more and more involved across the other aspects of the club. In a nutshell, I'm here to support Edu, Mikel, and the first team staff on a day-to-day basis. Not only is it incoming transfers, but also outgoing transfers, Richard Garlick is in charge of negotiating all the transfer fees. And also when it comes to contractual negotiations, Richard Garlick is the man for that. And so with the likes of Lacazette, El Neni, Callum Chambers and Cole all running out of contracts, let's just say Mr. Richard Garlick Bread has a lot of work to do, so let's just leave him to that. Okay, then let's move on to Renato Sanches. With the January transfer window fast approaching, it seems as if Mr. Richard Garlick has a lot of stuff to negotiate, but is he going to negotiate for a certain Portuguese central midfielder in Renato Sanches? Well, according to recent reports in Italy, Arsenal will try to sell Bernd Leno, Eddie Nketiah and Alexandre Lacazette in January to fund a move for Lille's Renato Sanches. Now, if this was to be the case, let's just say Richard Garlick has quite a bit to negotiate, but at the same time, in terms of Renato Sanches, as Fabrizio Romano has recently confirmed, this is going to be a player that's going to be pretty expensive. In fact, he's confirmed that Lille want 40 to 45 million euros. And so with Arsenal having spent so much in the summer, I think I kind of understand if Arsenal need a selfie place to get a player in, especially the amount of Renato Sanches. And obviously Mr. Romano in the same interview has also confirmed that Renato Sanches is still on Arsenal's list, but out of all the potential central midfielders that Arsenal could sign, would you guys be happy with the signing of Renato Sanches? Jack Wilshere, when asked, could we see you back in an Arsenal shirt this season, he says, I don't know. Now, in terms of this full interview on TalkSport, your boy has watched it, and let's just say I got a really cheeky little vibe from it. Because in terms of Wilshere, he could have come out and categorically said, I'm not returning to Arsenal. But instead, by saying I don't know and also saying it the way he did, he's almost trying to say, even though as of right now it is unlikely, there is a potential possibility. Putting my fan and sentiment to one side, in terms of footballing reasons, personally, I just don't think it makes sense. But hey, let's just say I was to ask you guys the question, with the lack of central midfielders, would you guys bring back Super Jackie Wilshere to the Arsenal first team? And talking about central midfielders, what about the return of Granit Xhaka? Well, Xhaka says, I hope to celebrate my comeback as soon as possible. I've been out for 7 weeks and a few days now. The bone was also broken twice. The problem with the bone is that it takes so long. I hope to be back in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So a cheeky little injury update there from Granit Xhaka himself, almost confirming a return is imminent. And even in terms of the Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta on when Xhaka will return, hopefully he'll be a little sooner than expected. He is training and pushing himself and the staff so hard, like he always does. He's in a good place, he is evolving well, and hopefully we can have him back a little bit earlier. Even though quite a few Arsenal fans aren't Xhaka's biggest fans, Mikel Arteta certainly isn't that. And even in terms of the midfield partnership of Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey, personally I am a massive fan of it. I mean, even if you are to go to the last game they both played together, the North London derby, of course, 3-1 to the Arsenal, beautiful scenes, and they were a massive part of that. And so hopefully when they are both fit and available, they will give Arsenal a massive push towards the top 4. But what do you guys make of the Granit Xhaka and Thomas Partey midfield partnership? Okay, then let's move on to the other Arsenal news today. And starting off with Alexandre Lacazette, whose Arsenal contract is set to expire at the end of the season. When Mikel Arteta was asked on Lacazette being able to speak to other clubs in January, he says things have happened in the last few seasons for different players where those possibilities are there. The demands don't change. Whether you have a 6-month or 6-year contract, you are still employed at the club. Essentially, the Arsenal manager is making it clear, even though Lacazette can negotiate elsewhere, he still expects the same level of commitments from the Arsenal number 9. And even in terms of your boy, I don't have my doubts, because every time I see Lacazette play in an Arsenal shirt, I see that commitment on a consistent basis. But make no mistake, when it comes to January, there will be quite a few clubs that will be looking at Lacazette. And so with the Aubameyang already going to AFCON, potentially Arsenal might just have a situation on their hands. In terms of Fabrizio Romano, who has confirmed that Arsenal potentially do want to sign a striker, but then again, will Arsenal spend the big bucks to bring a striker in January? Personally, I do have my doubts. But let's just say magically you guys were in charge of Arsenal. Come the January transfer window, what would you guys do with the Arsenal striker situation? Would you guys sign a brand new centre forward, and if so, who is the player? Let me know down below in the comments. According to The Athletic, Rob Holding has recently impressed Arsenal coaches with his level of intensity in training. I believe he's now 25 years of age and he does have a long-term Arsenal contract. What's happening with Rob Holding? And so the fact that Rob Holding is now in his peak years of his career, surely he wants to play more first team minutes. But also in terms of Arsenal, him just being at Arsenal gives Arsenal a boost when it comes to homegrown players. And in terms of being a backup and in cup games, I don't think Rob Holding is the worst of options. And so if he is to remain on the Arsenal bench come the end of the season or even in the January transfer window, I will not be surprised if clubs in the bottom half or even mid-table make a move for this player. But as per my friends, let me know your own thoughts on Mr. Rob Holdini. Rob Holding, are you a fan of him? And what do you think about his future at Arsenal Football Club? Here's a stat for you guys. As Albinho says, Newcastle have scored more goals than Arsenal so far this season. Just feels strange seeing that given the relative league positions. Look, there's a lot of positive things about Arsenal, but in terms of this stat here, it had me going mental. Newcastle United are a team fighting relegation. How on earth are they able to outscore Arsenal Football Club? For me, it just doesn't sit right in my head. And as pointed out here, with all the attacking talent that we have, it is unacceptable that Newcastle have scored more goals than us. Keeping it real, our run has been largely down to the back four and goalkeeper. I like the togetherness within the group, but we need to create more as this isn't sustainable. Yes, Mkhitaryan has not spent as much on the Arsenal attack as he has on the Arsenal defence, but at the same time the likes of Aubameyang, Xhaka, Smith-Rowe, Odegaard, Lacazette, we have enough players to be outscoring teams like Newcastle. And so your boy won't lie to you guys, I do have this ultimate level of concern of the Arsenal attack and also when it comes to out and out chance creation. But at the same time, what is Arsenal's fundamental issue in the attack? Is it the striker? Is it a number 10, the left wing, the right winger? This is the question for you guys to answer down below in the comments. What do you guys believe is the ultimate issue in the Arsenal attack? And in those attacking positions, where should Arsenal strengthen in the upcoming transfer windows? But that is the video there and there. If you guys have enjoyed, make sure to go down there and smash a like on the video, and also do subscribe to your boy's channel if you guys are new. Also down below in the description is your boy's links to the social media, so if you want to follow your boy, please do so. But that was the latest Arsenal news today, and in terms of Arsene Wenger returning to Arsenal potentially, they're gonna have to wait and see. But as per my friends, I will see you later in a bit.